Hey guys, this is Jeff at Time for a New Watch. Today I wanted to do an update on the Vostok Neptune Special Edition Amphibian, whatever you want to call it here. I've got the green version. This is the 2016 version. The 2015 version has little different hour hand, but that's about it. It's mostly the same. I've owned this watch for maybe like a month and a half now, and I really like it so far. It's, as far as amphibians go, it's about as good as it gets, except maybe the 1967 reissue, which I'm not lucky enough to own. But yeah. So a funny story with this one. I was wearing it one day on the Washington DC Metro, and I got tripped up and I was holding my phone and I fell hard, like real hard. And I messed up this watch. There was scratches on the glass from 12 o'clock all the way down to like between 9 and 8 here. It was all messed up. It was all like white around here. There were deep scratches. The bezel got a little bit messed up. The loom pip was kind of shaved down a little, and it was just in bad shape at that point. But fortunately, parts are still readily available for this. The glass here, I ordered it, it cost $4.90, so I bought two because shipping's like $6, so why not get two? And I also picked up the bezel, which is $25 about on meronome.com, where the only place you can get these bezels. And yeah, for $40 altogether, I had two new replacement glass and a bezel. I replaced the bezel myself. That was very easy, but the glass is beyond me. I don't have the tools. I don't have any experience with it. So I took it to a watchmaker, local watchmaker, and he repaired it. That one cost me a lot though, $55, like over 10 times as much as the glass actually cost, just to repair it and get it back on. But here it is, just like new, thank goodness. I'm really lucky that all the parts and everything was still available for this. Just as a side note, you can polish this acrylic glass here. I did polish the old one a lot, but there was still some deep scratches that were just too deep to polish out, so I had to replace it, and now it's like new again, which is good because it's only like 6 weeks old. I can't believe, that's never happened to me before, and I just happened to be wearing my hardest to replace watch during that fall. But yeah, I got really lucky there. So let me talk about stuff I like about it, stuff I don't like about it. So first of all, I want to go to the back here, the clasp. Here, get a good look at it. This clasp is very smooth. Yes, I love that. And the release is just, it's silky smooth here. I really like this clasp. This part here is a little bit short, so you don't want this centered at the bottom of your wrist. If you take a look here, you want it centered, you want this whole piece here centered on the bottom of your wrist. So that's one little note about the clasp. But on the whole, this side clasp is very nice, very high quality for Vostok too, I might add. Most of their non-special editions are not so hot in this area. The bezel is, I love it. It matches the dial beautifully. It's great to look at. It's still not, it's not a unidirectional click bezel. It is what is it called, a friction bezel or whatever, but it's very nice. Only Meronome gets these bezels, and they put them on special editions, or you can get them for your regular Vostoks as well. I put a black one on my Scuba Dude 710, and they're nice for modding. I prefer them over most third-party bezels. Next, the case. This is a case that you're not going to find on any other modern Vostoks. This is only available on the Neptune Special Edition, and it's only available through Meronome.com. And it's very nice. It's pretty darn similar to the vintage, like early 90s case that the original Neptune came in. It may be, you know, a mirror image of it even. I just have not handled one of the originals, but the case it's about 40 millimeters. It's very, it's about as low profile as a Vostok can get, except for Commander skis, or however you pronounce that, but it's about as low profile and simple as you're gonna get with a Vostok Amphibian case. Now the crown. This I like about as much as the clasp. This is way better, much higher quality than any other Vostok crown I've used. It's still the wobbly crown that Vostoks are known for, as you can see there. It is signed, and it just feels good to wind. Yeah, I do like that. It feels better than the other crowns. It just does. Sorry, I'm going to hold it upside down for a second while I screw it back in. But it screws in more smoothly. It winds more smoothly. The clutch inside feels stronger. I love this crown, and I wish this was the default crown on all Vostok Amphibians. It's just much higher quality than the trash can lid that's on the other ones. Or the... what's the word I'm thinking of? Trash can lid was the correct word I was looking for, but the non-special edition amphibias. I love this crown. Seriously. I wish it was on everything. Well, every Vostok amphibian. So, let's see. Next. The bracelet. Definitely a plus here too. I'm sure I mentioned it in the unboxing video in my initial impressions, but much higher quality than any other Vostok bracelet I've handled. It's solid all the way through, solid links, and the outer links are brushed, the inner links are polished. I'd prefer I don't know. It makes the watch a little bit blingy, but it's not overly blingy, because, I mean, the case is also polished, so having completely polished bracelet would not quite look right, but I think they did a good job with it. It's not, like I said, not overly blingy, but not unmatched, I guess is the word I'm looking for. It matches the case nicely, and just as a side note here, and this is going to be big for some people, this is the only watch I have that my wife looked at and was like, oh yeah, I like that. So this is the only one that's wife approved for me. And I think it's because, and usually she hates my Russian watches. So I think it's because the bright colors, the colors are really nice. The green and the orange here on the dial. That second hand, I love the second hand on these special editions, and that orange red just matches the green beautifully. Well, I wouldn't say matches beautifully, I would say clashes beautifully, because I would not wear such a color combination with my clothes, but on this watch it's beautiful. And I also think that this the bracelet has something to do with that. You know, my wife likes kind of blingy watches, and this is the polished center links on this bracelet make it my blingiest watch, I guess you could say. So yeah, that's some more points for it there. Let's see. The dial quality on this is much higher than any of the other, I mean, this is the only special edition Amphibia that I have, or that I've even handled. But you can see in the light here, I'm sure you've already noticed it, but it's textured. There's like those lines running horizontally through it. There's kind of a faux chapter ring around here. That's actually just part of the dial, but it looks great. It just looks great. I love it. There, you can kind of, this angle really highlights the texture on the dial, the applied indices, and also the applied Neptune up here. I actually showed this to someone I work with. They don't know that much about watches or anything, but they were like, yeah, Neptune, Tsar of the Sea. Russian co-worker. Yeah, they also liked this as well. Also, when I went around to places asking if they could replace the glass with my replacement glass, you know, one guy was like, whoa, what is that? I really like that. I mean, I've never received more comments on any watch than this one. People like it. I've even had other friends of mine, they would look at it and say, hey, look, it's just like that Rolex we were looking at that store in the mall. The store that's probably sick of seeing me looking at expensive watches and not buying them. But yeah, it does bear it's just because of the green. They were looking at the green Hulk Submariner. But yeah, I've never received more comments, compliments on any other watch than this one. Now, let's see. I'm a little bit neutral about the pins for the bracelet. They're just friction pins, so you have to use that thing where you put it in here and then you screw it in and push it out the other side. And I don't like those that much, but you know, it is what it is, and once the bracelet's adjusted, you don't have to worry about it, so I'm fine on that. But yeah, that's a little neutral. You could hate it, you could not care, but personally I don't care that much, but I would rather have screw bars. But that would probably require a thicker bracelet, so that's why I'm neutral about it. Because the bracelet thickness here is just right. If it was thicker, it would look weird, I think. So anyway, on to some points I don't like so much about it. So first, the end links here. Or not end links, the removable links. You'll notice that, let me see if you can see it now. I've only removed all of the links on this end over here. And that's because, let me get it on the wrist real quick and not drop it. So that's because you can see that this is about, you know, the watch is centered on my wrist here. Here's a wrist shot for you also. See how it looks there? Not bad. But here, take a look here. So this is as centered as I can get the clasp. That's pretty good. Like down here, I wish it was a little bit more over here, but this is fine. And actually when I'm looking at it from the top, my angle here, it's perfectly centered for me. But I had to remove all of the links over here. Like if it wasn't centered now, there's absolutely nothing I could do to center it. Like I actually had to remove one link from here and put it over here. So all of these links here, like, I don't know, I think it's not a perfect bracelet. Like if you can't get the clasp centered, that would be a serious little issue. Big issue, perhaps even. But I was lucky enough that it works for me, and I heard someone online actually was able to dig through this part here and was able to access some pins underneath there and actually remove some of these non-removable links. So you're not completely out of luck, but that's a huge pain, and you may not have the tools to do it, like me. I don't have the tools to do that. So that's one point I don't like about it. Another point I don't like about it, and this is small, and back on the wrist it goes for this. If you take a look at the end over here, where the bracelet meets the watch, it's a little bit funky when you're wearing it. You see the angle? It just goes up like it's attaching to nothing over here on this end. I wish that these end links here were angled a little differently so that they would, I mean, you can see that there. It's just pointing straight up. It's not angled to the case at all. That's a little pet peeve that I have with this, but honestly, it's a very small issue. You can also kind of notice when you're looking at it, sorry, it's upside down here, but you can also notice when you're kind of looking at it head on here that these are they're not quite flush with the case, and that's a little thing I don't like about it. And I only have one more negative about this watch. And that is, obviously, if you want to change the bracelet or get a leather strap for it or something, it doesn't have lugs. And that's fine. That's how the case was designed. I knew that going in. I do not plan on changing it from its bracelet. I really like how it is, as it is, just stock. No changes needed for me. But if you did want to change it, you would have to buy separate special pins from Marinome.com that would go in here, and they're like specially made for securing a leather strap or some other strap, and you also have to have a notched leather strap. So you either have to get the leather strap at Marinome.com, which is like 25 bucks. It does have good reviews. I hear a lot of people like it, but if you want like a different strap or something, you would have to notch the leather strap here, and that means it would pretty much only work on this watch. You're not going to use it on another watch unless you have one with a notch exactly the same size, or you don't care about the notch when you're wearing it on other watches. And just for reference, the Marinome website said that this area right here is about 22 millimeters, but I'm not so sure about that. I think I measured it once and it was around 18, but oh no, my wife took the only measuring instrument I have here, so yeah, let's just move past it. And that's pretty much all the stuff that I have to say about this watch. Let's get some quick close-ups of it before we finish up though. Alright, here we are, up close and personal with the Marinome Special Edition. Alright, there's a lot of reflection coming off of this, but and autofocus does not work here, so if I move it out of the plane of oh, you know what? Now that it's up close, you can see some dust and junk on it. Let me clean that off for us. And alright, this is as clean as I'm gonna get it. So, look at that dial. That is sweet, that is good quality. The printing quality is superb. I especially love the texture and the Czar of the Sea up there. Neptune. Here, take a look at the loom pip there. Very decent quality. I mean, nothing is ever super high quality on a Vostok, but for the price, very nice. Got a profile here. Oops, there. Oh, look, my face. You can see the glass quite thick. Signed crown, love it. Case back. Whoop. Get that out of the way. Oh, yeah. I'm looking at it on my, I'm looking at the video being shot on my TV here, and yes, I'm loving this too. I am very glad that I got this. This is just absolutely like one of my favorite watches that I have. And that's also why it keeps moving off to the left there, because I have to move it in the opposite direction, and my brain does not want to, get that through. All right, that looks about centered. The bracelet with lots of fingerprints on the polished part. Another reason I don't really like polished bracelets, but if it matches the watch, that's what it should be. The clasp, love it. Click. Oh, looks like I didn't mess this up too much yet. Not bad. Pew. Nice. The rest of it, you don't need to see all that. Here's the side, very polished. Many fingerprints. All right, I think we have seen as much, center, as much as we could ever want to see of this now. So thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.